What's up everybody, welcome back to another BIMMER ZEIT video. My name is Rich and today I'm going to be talking about my wife's 2005 E53 X5. This is a 2005 model year and it has the 3-liter inline 6-cylinder engine. So today I'm going to be talking about what this car has done for us over the past 5 years of ownership in terms of the cost of ownership, and I'm also going to talk about and dive in a little bit into my YouTube creator dashboard and tell you just how much money I've earned from videos on this X5. Here is our 2005 E53 X5, and let's just take a little walk around and see how this car looks. We've owned this car for the past 5 years, and overall it has been a pretty decent, cheap car, a cheap BMW SUV. Now the question is, would I recommend to you guys to own this yourselves? And the answer is yes and no. I think right now these are going for anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000, depending on how many miles. And I'm strictly speaking about the 3-liter 6-cylinder model, by the way. The 4.4-liter V8, which I also have owned one of those for a brief period of time, I definitely would not recommend that car to you. The 6-cylinder is the one to get in this generation. It is more reliable, doesn't have a lot of the issues that the higher end V8 models have. It also has standard suspension, doesn't have any air suspension to mess with or compressors or anything like that. So that is one of the benefits of this car. Now, as for the interior, the quality of this build is not that great. It's okay, but not the best. We have some nice sunshades back here, along with tinted privacy rear glass. And the combination of these sunshades here with the tinted windows in the back, as you can see, the rear is tinted and the front is not. That's how it comes from the factory. Now, the combination of these two things makes it very nice to cart our baby around in. Here's her car seat back here. And together, that screen and the fact that the roof line here is flat. You have a nice flat roof versus a sedan. For example, my 3 Series, there's a window, the back window goes right here, and it sort of allows a lot of sunlight into the car seat. It's not the best. And this is a great baby hauler, great if you have kids or babies or anyone else, maybe elderly parents you need to cart around in the back. Because of the roof line here, how the SUV is designed, and with the tints and the sunshades, makes it very nice in the summertime. And it is our baby hauler of choice when we are going out together as a family. Even though my 335i is a much nicer car, I need to get the windows tinted desperately. So that's one of my favorite features on this SUV. Now let's take a look at the trunk back here. Another interesting thing about this generation X5 is this little tailgate here. When you press this button, it unlocks the tailgate, which you can sit on. And I can tell you that my wife and I have tailgated with this at some John Mayer concerts and what have you. And this is very nice to just sit up here and you have your cooler or whatever, you have a little grill going, a little grill and chill action, and it's very handy. So the utility of this car is great. It can haul quite a bit of stuff back here. You also have some interesting adjustments here with these buttons that adjust the incline or decline of the back seat, so you can recline it. There's some adjustments here. You can see how far back the seat goes for a little bit more comfort. Under here, of course, is a full-size spare wheel, which is something you don't get on a lot of the newer BMWs, which is unfortunate. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm taking a car on a long road trip, if we're going to Cape Cod or going out to Long Island or something, where we live here in Connecticut, and I'm gonna choose which car to take, I wanna have one with a real full-size spare. And run flats, if you have experience with them, they ride terribly. A lot of people with the newer BMWs with run flat tires in lieu of a spare is part of what BMW did. One of the best things to do is get rid of the run flats, put on regular tires, but then you're at risk of being stranded in the event you get a flat tire. So with this generation X5, you have the full-size spare and there's nothing to worry about. Generally speaking, this is a pretty decent place to be driving around. There's a nice ride height. You have a decent amount of ground clearance here. And overall, this is a great car in the wintertime. The all-wheel drive works perfectly. This is a very affordable car if you're looking for a cheap SUV. Like I said in the beginning of this video, these can be had for anywhere from like $3,000 to $5,000, and the $5,000 is probably for one with 100,000 miles or maybe less, 90,000 miles. They're still out there, you can find them. A lot of people in the suburbs drove them to the train, and there's not a lot of miles on them, so I have seen them out there. This one has 180, I think we have 182,000 miles by now, and 60,000 of those were done by us in the last 5 years. So our anniversary is coming up next month, 5 years of ownership of this E53. This past year, we've just put about $2,000 into it in parts and tires. You can see here, I got a nice set of Scorpion Verde tires. Of course, only the best for my wife and baby. So those set us back about 800 bucks. Along with the tune-up, I just did some spark plugs. I replaced this door handle, which is a very common failure point on these cars. I also put in new floor mats and a couple other things. But yeah, we're trying to keep this on the road for another little while. But due to the pandemic, it seems that a lot of people are working from home. My wife has been working from home the rest of the school year, and really we're deciding whether or not we actually need to sell this and purchase an upgrade if she's going to be working from home. You know, I think we could probably sell this for around $3,000 or $3,500. And we initially paid $5,250 for it. So let's take a look at how much money this car has cost. We'll look at all of the repairs, the cost of ownership in 5 years, and I'll compare that with the amount of revenue and income and profit that these videos have generated from this car. All right, so let's get into the spreadsheet that I've prepared with a list of all of the expenses that we have incurred during our ownership of this E53 X5. So as you can see here, it begins here around September 20th, 2015, and we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary of owning this car. Here in the first 10 or 15 rows, you can see a lot of work was done initially, and I have the initial purchase price, $5,250, right here in this first cell. Here's the tax registration fees, and then we have a bunch of other expenses. There's some brake lines. Let's see here. Some hard brake lines were replaced. This is a common issue on these cars where the hard brake lines rust out. If we go down here, you can see some recent work in 2019, $755 for new tires. Here's a new battery at almost $200. I recently did a bunch of work, replaced the alternator yet again, ignition switch, and here we are just a few days ago, or last week rather, at 182,000 miles I replaced the spark plugs. So that brings the grand total in repairs to $7,876.03. And if we add the initial purchase cost of the vehicle, that brings us to $13,126.03. And so if we divide this figure by the amount of miles that we put on the car in 5 years, here it is down here. This is just the total cost of repairs, 58,000 miles, we get to 13 cents per mile. Now here I wrote salvage value as a sale estimate, and that's basically just a accounting term for, you know, what is the value of it once you sell it or get rid of it. So salvage value, sales estimate, I'm factoring in here that maybe we can get $3,500 for it, which I think is pretty reasonable. I think worst case scenario, it might sell for $3,000 because it's in, you know, very good shape, and we spent over $2,000 on it in the last year. New tires, battery, and what have you. Here you can see everything's listed here. So if we take the $3,500 here and deduct it from this cost of ownership, we get to the actual cost of ownership. So, you know, once the car is sold and gone, we can deduct that amount from the ownership expenses. And that puts us at around $9,626. And if you divide that by the 5 years that we had it, that averages out to $1,925 per year. Now, if we further divide that amount by 12, there's 12 months in a year, we get down to $160 per month, which is pretty good. Now I've also prepared a second sheet here, which outlines all of the YouTube video ad lifetime earnings. I focused only on the videos of this car, of the X5. So I made 33 videos, as you can see here. There's 33 lines, and I actually went into my YouTube studio here, and for each video that I made on this X5, I changed this here to lifetime amount, and I took the estimated revenue, this amount right here, and added it to the spreadsheet. So this is one of the first videos here, X5 rear roundel emblem, and this is made $198.46 in the lifetime of this video so far. It will continue to live on the internet and make money in the future, hopefully, and that will simply bring down the cost of ownership of this X5 over time. So I'll just go through a few of these tabs here. Here's a cigarette power outlet video, $333.94. Here's a cluster removal, angel eye video. This one's a pretty good one. The service reset light. This is a 1-minute video that has made $574.15 so far. So what I did here was I went through in sheet 2 and I added up all of those earnings here. I just entered them in, and we can just drag the cell here and check out the summation. Here we go, sum. $6,342 in ad revenue so far. So what I did was I took the actual cost of ownership. This is with the assumption that I sell this car for $3,500. So here's the cost of ownership, $96.26. I subtracted here the total profit of $6,342, and now I have a new cost of ownership after we factor in the ad profits from YouTube. And then I can divide that by 5. It comes out to $656 per year. It's the average cost of our cost to own this vehicle. And then if we further divide that by 12, we get the monthly average of $54.72 per month. Now, of course, we've made the assumption here that this car will have a salvage value of $3,500. So if I only get $3,000 or less for it, then these figures will go up, obviously. However, I can make the counterpoint that over time, these 33 YouTube videos will actually continue generating money and thus bringing down the cost of ownership of this car long after it's gone. As always, I hope this video was helpful and insightful in some way for you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it in the comment section below. I typically respond to every comment that I see, that I have time to reply to. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.